Evaluation question 6. What have I learnt about technologies from the process of constructing my project? Um, I use many different technologies, um, a list of which I'll give you. Final Cut Pro is my editing software. It's great because it's easy to use and it allows you to be as creative as possible. However, it does crash quite often, which is the only downside, I think. I've learned a lot from using Final Cut Pro. Beforehand, I didn't even know how to edit anything, yet now I'm more confident and I can edit successfully. My main issue with Final Cut Pro is how long it takes to export something, but other than that, I love it. I used Google quite frequently. It's very user friendly. You can find everything on there, it's amazing. I already knew a lot about Google, but it has helped me a great deal in the making of my product for research purposes and also in my evaluation, providing pictures and such. I used YouTube to get all my background music involved in my evaluation questions and also for sound effects in my final product. I chose to present my coursework on Tumblr as I was already familiar with Tumblr and how to use it. It's easy to use and you can edit the appearance of your blog to suit your taste. In my opinion, it's a great blogging website, but I wouldn't use it for coursework as it is more for social purposes. Also, it takes so long to upload a video to Tumblr and it has to be less than 5 minutes long. Bitstrips is fantastic. I used it to create my demographics for my target audience. It's easy to use. You can use as much detail in designing your character as you like. It's by far the best website to create a character on, as there is so much creativity and you can go as far as choosing what eye shape your character has, which is hard to come across online. I don't have anything negative to say about Bitstrips, quite frankly. Prezi has been a total lifesaver. It's a great way to present something other than PowerPoint. There's more flexibility and creativity involved, and you can design your presentation however you like, and even add music to make it more interesting. It's easy to use and very easy to embed onto other websites or share on social media. I used the #1 video converter to download clips from other films for my research, download background music and re-download my own product to annotate it and various other little tasks throughout. It's a great website, however I feel it loses some quality of the video whilst processing, but I could be wrong. It's very fast to download, but has a couple of pop-up ads now and then, which is highly annoying. I used Art of the Title when researching the function of film openings. It shows you different opening sequences to films and TV shows that is really interesting and briefly talks about them. This website is great for this and it saves time having to look online to watch a film to only watch the opening titles. The website is very well laid out and looks very professional. In my opinion, there is nothing negative about it in the slightest. Microsoft PowerPoint was useful to me when creating my mood board. However, I don't think I used it for anything other than that because it's very basic and doesn't allow room for much creativity. Don't get me wrong, PowerPoint is great, I just wouldn't personally use it for much. Powtoon is another presentation website I used. I wanted something a bit different than Prezi because I wanted to show my thoughts and ideas. Thoughts and ideas connotes storyboarding, and Powtoon has a comic book feel to it, which I thought was quite fitting and quirky. It's a bit difficult and quite confusing when you first start using it, but I got the hang of it in the end. I only used it for when discussing my thoughts and ideas for what my final product could be, as I didn't think it would be very effective used anywhere else. Overall, great website. Facebook was a good way to broadcast my first edit of my film, as I could ask for feedback and I got it back almost instantly from various people I know. The only downside is I couldn't get comments from others that I weren't friends with, and I couldn't really get many opinions from other media students, which would have been great as they could have helped me further with my editing because they know what they're talking about. I used Google Earth when blogging about the location I used to film my final product. Again, it's very easy to use. I don't really have much to say about Google Earth other than that it's great, to be honest. Dafont.com was helpful in deciding which font to use for the title of my final product. There's a great variety of fonts to use, which is great, but it wouldn't let me download the fonts to use on Final Cut Pro, which meant we had to make our own, which wasn't as professional looking as other fonts on the website. The college let us use their cameras, microphones and tripods, which was fantastic as their equipment was better than anything me and Georgia could have used. The cameras were a bit fiddly and it took a while to get used to them. The tripods were pretty standard and useful so the camera wouldn't wobble. I used a microphone to record my voice over my evaluation questions as the sound produced was very clear. Finally, I used PhotoBooth on the computer that I am using to record this question, as I felt it was easiest to use a webcam to talk about the technologies I have used. It's extremely easy to use, has a variety of effects, which is fab and all that. It's really easy to import to Final Cut Pro for editing it, as all you have to do is drag and drop it, which saves a lot of time. It's important to not rely on technology entirely, as let's face it, technology fails us all the time. And for example, Final Cut Pro crashing all the time. It's always good to have an idea of another way to present your findings in case you're unable to use a certain method of technology for any reason. Knowledge of technology doesn't necessarily make you more creative, it just gives a way to show how creative you can be, but it can also restrict your creativeness.